they set up questions so they could get a little bit of each of those sections. And by doing that, they told their stories, and not only did they learn about those things, but they also got to, these kids don't understand what it's like to be without technology and microwaves and cable and DVDs and things like that. So they looked back at the history before they even came here, and they found, when things were invented, what wars took place, what was happening when they were born, and they were pretty already amazed before they walked in. But then when they got to hear the stories, the personal stories, it just added a whole new element to it. And then in making the projects, knowing that somebody was actually going to see this and it was about their life, it added a level of importance to the outcome. That
more than just something you're going to grade.
Right, right. And I was going to see it, and they were, it was just going to go in some place on the internet that nobody would ever look at, or in a trash bin or a recycle bin or whatever. So they knew that they were coming back to show these people their life, and it made it really important that they did a good job.
There you go.
Helen said that the good Lord always puts the right people together, and I believe that's absolutely true, and it was proved by these two. We found out that Curtis and Helen met when Curtis was hanging out with one of his friends, and Helen was hanging out with one of her friends. Helen suddenly saw the store that she wanted to go to, and it was starting to close. So she threw her what she had in Curtis's nearby arms and rushed to the store to get what she was wanting. And then after that, they kind of just picked up from there and started talking to each other. And then they got married November 24th, 1942, at 21 years old, and were married for 70 years.
We probably didn't have something quite right because we were just 69 years. It will be 70.
It was only 69.
It was only
okay.
69.
Okay.
But that's a long time.
It is a long time. It's a good time to have.
It's a good time to have.
Working. Nope, we'll move on. We have stuff like when they were born, childhood times, major events in their lives like the Great Depression and World War II.
It is amazing to see it down and hear it all in one story, because life has been so, just a piece here and a piece there and a piece someplace else, and the boys here have taken it and they've put it together. It's just all out there in front of us in one setting, and that's amazing.
It was really cool to do this project because with history, history books, you can read it and kind of get the information down, but it's not really personal or almost even human in the history books. But hearing these stories, hearing the personal stories, how they just interacted with the world, how Helen and Curtis learned to ski on Colorado at 66 and 67, or how they experienced the Great Depression. All these different stories just kind of makes history come alive, and you can kind of relate to it, and it gets a lot more personal,
Well, when they came over, I was a little worried, because I was worried, they were worried too. They were worried how they might, the people here might look at them being teenagers and things. And so when we came over, everybody was a bit nervous. But when we left here the first time, they were all very excited. They were telling the stories to each other, and they said how cool it was and how excited they were, which was exciting for me as a teacher. And then when they got back, just their level of purpose to get this done and to tell each other and have it on the internet in a way that reflected what they had just experienced here, they had a lot of excitement. And that was, like I said, exciting for me as a teacher.
I hope these are friends for lifetime. My prayer is for them as they go on to fulfill what God would have them do in their life, and go on from where we are today. And it's encouraging to meet up with youth of their caliber and what their desire is to do for the future. That gives hope to us, whose lives is just down at the tail end.